It is the 6 o'clock news with your host and anchor, Dan Hagen. Good morning. It is the 6 o'clock news. My name is Dan Hagen. This morning, Londoners have awoken to discover a distressing act of vandalism has been committed against Big Ben. The noise of the television seems numb. The three of you are sat watching the room that you're sat in get brighter. You've drawn the curtains and covered the windows as best you can, but still little shafts of light creep into the room as a newscaster begins talking about the heinous act of vandalism that has occurred against Big Ben. In 10-foot tall letters, written in blood, Ripper, across its face. How are you all feeling? Let's start with Tess. How does the sunlight make you feel?
Tess is pacing carefully so as not to run across any of the stray sunbeams, but she's uneasy. The part of her that still feels human wants to go out to see the sun, to be going to her kickboxing class in the morning, to get her coffee. And then there's part of her, this alien part, that is a primal fear of what's beyond that curtain, and that can't bring herself to come any closer to it.
And what about you, Siegfried?
Yeah, Siegfried is just sat there on the couch, just like he's looking at the TV, but anybody looking at him, it would be pretty clear that he's not actually watching it. He's just kind of zoned out in that direction. Just kind of like his eyes more crossing at the different beams of light that are shining on the different parts of the walls, the parts that he wasn't able to cover. He almost has like a deer in the headlights look. Like this is when he would normally be waking up. This is normally when he'd be starting his day. And now they've been up for who knows how long at this point. And he's just not really even sure. Like, is this when we're supposed to go to sleep? Are we supposed to still go out and try to do something? Like he's just doesn't even know like what to do with himself right now.
Yeah, absolutely. That light begins aching at the sides of your eyes. Donica.
Donica has like a really base abhorrence to the idea of being in the sun. Doesn't know where it comes from, this like sickening feeling and like a hate for sunlight, which he's never had before, but it's like this really like primal like when he sees it begin to encroach on the room. He like can see it coming in about a minute after the newscaster starts talking. There's like a voot, 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 as like his alarm goes off to go to work, and he has to like pull that out and like turn it off, and he just kind of like shrugs his shoulders and like hides in the darkest part of the room.
Yeah, and you get that really terrifying gut feeling, that primal feeling, Donica, when you look at your phone and you see you only have 6% battery.
True personal horror.
You haven't got a charger.
He would have been sitting by the computer like all night, and it would have been one of those, if there was a time lapse of him like sitting and like the white light of the computer generally getting less bright as the sun begins to like brighten up, but he's barely moved beyond like the of his fingers across the keyboard, and he would like notice now that his phone is almost dead, and he would turn to Siegfried. Charger?
What kind of phone do you have?
It's a Flim Flam 84.
I only got her iPhone charger. Sorry.
He would like roll his eyes in disgust.
I know.
Poser.
Sorry, I've got iPhone too.
And he like
Not
gives
really
him
compatible.
this look of like people who are obviously not techies, and shrugs his shoulders.
It does FaceTime.
I'm sure it does.
You are all exhausted. You've had a long night and a long and peculiar night. You have preyed upon human beings. You've discovered an entirely new world and an entirely different size to yourselves. But yeah, exhausted.
I'm gonna get some sleep. Do you have a room with no windows?
Not one that you'd probably want to sleep in. You can pick a closet or a bathroom.
Bathtubs aren't bad for sleeping in.
Then go ahead. I'll take the closet.
You aren't gonna hang upside down or anything weird, right?
I hope not.
I'm not sure how this works. We don't have to like have a coffin, do we? That's just the movies. Right? I don't know what's happening. This is so weird.
You know, thinking about it, it would probably be pretty practical to have a coffin. It would stop the light getting out. Brian.
Fuck, is that why they do it?
Yeah, and I guess if you think about it, who's gonna go like opening coffins if you find one? Actually, kind of makes sense.
I'm not ordering a coffin off Amazon.
Yeah, they're pretty expensive.
There has been a fact playing on all of your minds. You had achieved the first part of your goal set down to you by Mr. Gisborne. You have fed. But now another task lies before you. Edward Smythe, floor 15, UCL Hospital, private ward. Witness protection.
Donegal had spent some time already ruining this man's life, signing him up for various hate groups and things like that. He would have then, throughout the evening, been an active poster and like backdating his comments to the past year or so on various paranormal hoax sites, where he would be very vocal about the fact that Bigfoot exists and that he had seen UFOs and all this sort of like crackpot nonsense, and on various conspiracy sites as well, and like make sure to basically put all these comments all over the place, so that if anyone looks into Edward Smythe, it will be clear that he is a person who believes in a lot of strange and ridiculous things.
And Tess would have drafted up a few different emails as kind of anonymous tips, and with Donica's help, gotten them sent from untraceable email accounts to one of her contacts, one of the detectives in the police force, pointing them towards these crackpot theories and these tendencies.
And was that sent through your personal email?
No, she was gonna see if she could get Donica to set up one of those, goes through 8 different IP addresses, bounces around the globe a few times, and then sends.
For going around the globe 8 times, I'm going to have to ask Donica to make a check, computer
Yes, sir.
and intelligence or whatever it's called, because I'm just bringing up the sheet. Well, I know you want to. You've got good stats.
So good. One, two, three, four, 5.
Yeah, more than enough. You can even make up the email address.
That's a good question. I would make an anagram of like a famous reporter's name.
Yeah.
Somebody pretty well known. I would make an anagram of that. So if somebody crafty was looking into it, they would be like, "Oh, it's probably that clever reporter that's doing this."
Okay. Well, maybe over the course of the games we'll work out what that is. But for now, it's an anagram and email address. Yeah, you do remember that you have to fully convince this person, and well, convince wasn't the word that was used. Silence was the word that was used. But again, you're tired. Maybe you'll find it easier to plan once you've slept.
Yeah, Donica would make his way to wherever that closet is, and he would just like open it and say good night, and then I close it, and it would just be like this little tiny like hot press sort of closet. Stand there for a moment and like not sure what to do really, how you go to sleep as a vampire, and he would like put his hands across his chest and stand there for a second, and then he would like, oh, that's not working. He'd feel this like weird like primal need, and he would like basically do a handstand and like lock his feet into like the wall, like a and hang upside down. He would have never been so comfortable before in his life, and would sleep that way.
Yeah, it actually feels really comfortable. And you don't know why. Are the rest of you going to rest?
Yeah, Siegfried would just like look over to a Tess and say, "You sure you want to sleep in a bathtub?"
I'm not really sure. I don't really want to be near a window. It feels weird.
Fair enough. Your choice.
Could I have a pillow?
Yes.
Okay. She'll like kind of go into the bathroom with a pillow under her arm and night, morning, shut the door and sit down in the bathtub and kind of put her feet up near the spigot and put the pillow behind her head. Like, okay, this is weird. And I think after a few minutes, eventually she would just feel her breathing even out and would fall asleep, if you can call it that.
Yeah, and then Siegfried would like, I imagine he would just go like into his room and then like realizing that there's still like a bit of sun creeping in from like around the shades. Would just like cover himself in like his blankets and just like force himself to sleep despite probably the uncomfortable warmth of it all. Just preferring that to the possibility that one of those stray beams might find him somehow.
And it's weird once you're all able to relax, strangely, almost contentedly, you find rest. But none of you. Actually, I tell you what, each of you roll a d10 and put it into the chat. Whoever gets the lowest result, something interesting will happen. Ooh, even. Okay, do it again. Tess, you have unnerving dreams. You're sat by a lake, a cold breeze upon your face. You're in the countryside. You're sat on a picnic rug, and places have been set for two. But you're alone. You're looking across a landscape, and where it was once bright midday sunshine, it is now deepest midnight. The stars wheel above you. And in this place you believe you recognize, but are not entirely sure, you see the lake is red. Or is it just a trick of the light? You awake suddenly. In your restless sleep, you kicked one of the taps, and water begins to fill into the bath, waking you up.
There's a startled shriek as cold water is suddenly pouring all over her. What? Oh, come off it! And she turns off the tap and stands up, drenched. At least there are towels.
You sort of stumble around. It is dark, but funnily you can see very well. You've slept all day.
Yeah, Tess by habit reaches for the light switch and then doesn't turn it on when she realizes she doesn't need it. And it's this strange feeling of, again, being alien, being different now. And so she'll strip off the soggy clothes and wrap up in a towel and say a deep breath as she opens the door cautiously.
Do you think the other you guys are awake?
No?
No? Okay, Donica, you wake up.
Yeah, Donnie had been dreaming of being a wolf. He was like running through the woods with all these other wolves, howling and like hunting all night long. And he wakes up and he goes, and then he realizes that he's like hanging upside down. But he feels incredibly well rested. Feels like his muscles are all less exhausted than they were yesterday from the sudden like power that he had gained. And he would like still hanging upside down, like crack his neck and roll his shoulders before like with surprising like agility, like flip from where he was and land on his feet in the closet. You can see everything perfectly in here, and you can see that there's like lots of spiders and like awful creatures in the dark. That would have bothered him before, but now they don't. And he'll like open the closet door and step out.
You're muted, Rob.
Thanks. You step out and you look at the wall and you can see it is 7:45 at night. Tough. A cold wind whips around you. You were looking in your phone to be specific, the notes that you'd made. You're looking at an address. You're somewhere in the West End. And you look from the address on your phone to the house that you're standing in front of. This is the last known location of the new kindred that you've been sent to find. What does he look like? And what's going through his mind?
Well, on first glance, Toph just looks, just a little over 6 feet tall, thin, long black hair, just kind of runs just to the shoulder. He definitely styles it. He's got rings on all of his fingers. He wears a worn leather jacket. His pants, black denim trousers, tucked into the tops of some worn Doc Martens. Red laces are probably just recently replaced because they're vibrant red. He has a button-up shirt, but it's buttoned down almost to his navel, and he has just this very eclectic collection of necklaces hanging from his neck. He's looking up at this building, looks back down at his phone, clips it off, stuffs it in his back pocket, looks both ways on the street, and starts to cross.
Yeah, you see that there is a buzzer and a knocker.
He looks at them both, immediately starts just jamming on the buzzer. Bzz, 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 and then he reaches up with his other hand.
Siegfried, you never got around to replacing the batteries in the doorbell, and it makes that weird clicking noise. And then you can hear loud banging on the front door.
Siegfried jumps at the sound of completely not expecting visitors at the moment. He just looks over to Tess and Donica what do I do?
Tess is holding the towel up, having not yet found her a suitcase where she'd put it. I'm not getting it.
And then Donica gives him this look like, I can't get it.
Fine. Siegfried's gonna go up towards the door and try to peek through the little viewer, try to get a look at him.
And you see exactly what Lionel just described, this Adonis of a man standing there looking into the eye hole. I don't know, what do you think, Lionel?
Yeah, no, perfect. I was going to say, he kind of looks and there's another eye looking at him. And then he hears a...
Yeah,
You're going to let me in?
jumps, and then cracks open the door, probably just a couple inches. Who are you?
Yeah, the minute he does that, Toph's right hand goes right to the upper part of the door. And he goes, you're going to let me in, right? And he uses his foot to just kind of jam his Doc Marten in there and push the door open.
Yeah, I imagine Siegfried tries to resist, but he's probably not as strong as Toph is. But he tries to keep his hold on the door, standing between it and him, but still it's opened much further now. Sorry, I don't allow unannounced guests, especially if I don't know who they are.
Toph just kind of, and if he won't give him enough leeway to get stepped through the door, then he would just push it the extra. And then he would just step in, give a little nod to Siegfried, and he's just kind of looking around. All three of you here?
I don't know what you're talking about. Who are you?
We're gonna play that game, are we? Well, very well. I'm Toph. You're Siegfried or Sigmund or something like that, right?
How do you know that? You're not a fan, are you?
Same way I know where you live.
Gosh, they told me this would happen, but I didn't believe it. Look, if you have a CD, I can sign it. But please, it's really not cool for you to knock at my personal. How did you get this address?
He would. So I imagine that we're in like this little entry room of your apartment. So he would just, as you're saying that, Siegfried, you're like talking to Toph's back as he walks into like the next room. He like just totally makes himself at home. He looks through the living room. If one of the others aren't in there, then he kind of makes his way into the kitchen. You hear the as he always opens your fridge. You hear him kind of go through a few things. And then he kind of walks back out to the entryway. He's got an apple in his hand, and he takes a big bite out of it and starts chewing it. And he goes, so, it's getting late. So where are the others? We got stuff we got to get done.
I think if you went straight to the kitchen, unless you guys tried to hide, you'd just be standing there as this guy walks straight into Siegfried's home.
It would be clear to us, right, that he's a vampire, not a human.
Yeah, that's my question.
Well, there's something about him. And Lionel, do you think he would have even reacted to seeing a Nosferatu?
Oh, so he does see him? Okay, yeah, maybe as I step back out, that's when the others kind of like, they hear the ruckus and they're like peeking out. And so he would, when he sees Tess, he's like, whoa.
Yeah, Tess steps out and it's a like classic movie scene where she's still doing like the last top 2 buttons of the button-up shirt kind of thing.
Yeah. He's like,
Siegfried?
And
Siegfried?
when he sees Donica, he's like, he takes another bite of the apple, but when he sees Donica, he's like, he spits it out and he goes, you need some makeup, man. You can't go out like that. And Donica would probably immediately know that he's just totally having some fun with him.
Doesn't appreciate the joke. He's like pretty unhappy with the situation. The other two haven't like hassled him about it. And everyone else that he's seen, he's either fed on or they haven't seen him. So he hasn't really had anyone like give him shit about it. And so he would kind of remember only then when you mention it and frown.
How much of a charmer are you?
I'm busy. I don't like people telling me what to do. But it seems someone in the Camarilla thinks that I need to give you a hand. So, guess we're stuck with each other. I'm Toph. He would just introduce himself to Tess and Donica. And then, but as he says his name, he says, I'm Toph. But there's like this pause, like they should recognize it.
Tess, having been a lawyer and is used to that kind of like, I'm so and so, just tilts her head to the side. That doesn't mean anything, but I'm glad you think it does.
Toph takes another bite of the apple and he says, well, if you guys are ready, we need to get going.
How are you eating food?
Take a bite. It's that simple.
Does it not make you sick?
A little bit.
So then why?
Have it. One thing you guys are going to learn is you got to hold on to your humanity. Even the little parts. And he gets serious at that point. And then he looks over at Siegfried. He goes, got anything to drink in this place? It smells so clean.
So, you're not new?
New. Girl, I was probably turned before you were even born.
And what are you here for? Are you here to babysit us?
Yeah. And he just, Toph just tosses the rest of the apple, mostly core, off onto the floor of your apartment, Siegfried. Goes, he wipes his hands. Yeah, you could say that. I'm here to babysit you. Make sure you guys don't fuck things up too much.
And Siegfried like picks up the apple core and like walks over to the trash can and throws it in, just like with a almost disgusted look on his face.
Toph would make his way to like this little cabinet in your, thinking that's probably the best place you're gonna find any kind of alcohol. And the minute he finds the bottle, he opens it up, takes a big draw from it, just kind of swishes it around, spits it onto the floor. All right. So we ready?
Mine.
Excuse me?
You
said,
are
do you
incredibly
mind?
rude.
You come here, we don't even know who you are. You literally barge in forcibly. You take my food, which I don't even eat anymore, apparently. You throw it on the ground. You spit on the ground. Not cool, man.
All right, I'm sorry. And right after he says, I'm sorry, he's still holding the bottle in his right hand, and he goes, as emptying out onto your floor. I think we got to get something straight here. I'm only here because I was told I needed to be. I could give two shits for you fledglings. Could burn in the sun for all I care. But someone seems to think that you're important enough. So we can do this
Like
the
you're gonna
easy
be
way, or
stuck
we
with
can
us.
do it the hard way.
It seems to me that you're the one making this the hard way, not us. So maybe you should get yourself straight before you go on being an asshole, because you're the one making this annoying and difficult. We're the ones just trying to get by, okay? Get off your high horse, man.
And as you're talking to him, Siegfried, he reaches into his back pocket, pulls out his phone, and you're talking to him, and he starts texting. Sorry, did you say something? He puts his phone back.
Tess walks over to like the little stovetop and picks up the towel that's hanging there and drops it on the floor and starts wiping it up with her foot. And she's, inches from him. And she kind of looks up at him. The easy way or the hard way, you say? Well, you are dealing with 3 people who have no clue what's going on. We've been thrown into this. I am pissed as all get out. Don't fuck with us. Plus, Donica over here could probably tear you limb from limb.
Your phone buzzes. Tess, Siegfried. Donica, yours is dead. It died in the night.
As they're checking their phones, Toph would kind of look at Tess, and he would nod approvingly and say, "Now there we go. There's somebody with a little bit of backbone. You could learn something from her, Sigmund."
As he's saying this, you're looking at your phone, and there's that number. I don't know whether you've saved it into your phone. As follows. The kindred in front of you has direct authority over you until the time that it is revoked.
Tess hands her phone to Donica so he can read it.
All right, what'd you say your name was?
Toph.
That's a dumb name. All right. Look, let's get this show on the road.
You will know you have to go to UCL hospital and silence the journalist. How you do this is entirely up to you.
Yeah, Siegfried would like put his phone away with a scowl and like do his best to wipe up the alcohol that was poured onto the ground before like throwing the towel just in the sink for now. All right. Grand Overlord Toph, whatever the heck you want us to call you. Where to?
Well, we gotta go to the hospital, right? Right?
You're in charge. Why don't you tell me?
I go, we're learning. I like it.
I've done some groundwork. Tough. I've made sure to discredit this Smythe person on the internet. I have made sure that his reputation is going to count for little if anything does come out.
I'm not following you. What does the internet have to do with?
He's a fucking journalist, Tough. And media in this world that we live in is mostly on the internet. The internet is this ephemeral thing that we use to allow computers to communicate with each other.
This guy doesn't know what the internet is. He is old. Jesus.
I know what the internet is. I just don't know how
I don't have daddy issues.
I just don't know how you used it. How could you possibly use the internet?
What? That doesn't make any sense. How can I use the internet?
Yeah.
I live in this
Wi-Fi
century.
password.
Whatever. So you use the internet to ruin this guy.
Yes, I hacked into his accounts and I posted as him. I hacked into his email and I sent a lot of fake emails from him.
Oh. You can do that?
Yes.
Huh.
And then I had him send an email to one of the detectives I used to know on the force, pointing him towards all this illicit activity.
Toph starts to laugh. That's great. So you guys are just playing games then? Well, tonight you're gonna grow up. And he gets all serious at that.
Ooh.
I don't even want to look at you. You are fucking ugly. You seem to know your way around computers.
You're a fucking poser. You look like fucking adamant.
All right, let's go. And Toph starts to walk out.
Are you going to call a taxi? Are you going to get on the tube? How are you getting there? Are you going to drive?
You have a car.
Yeah, we should drive.
Driving around London, you bloody nutters. Okay. Lionel, what is your resources? Do you have a car as well? Does Toph have a car?
Yes. Toph can drive a car.
Does he have one though?
No.
Okay.
Toph does not have a car. I imagine his reaction would be when he sees the car, it's like, that's a nice car.
That's the thing. I don't think it is, because whose car was it?
Tess's
It was
Ford Fiesta, isn't it?
Ford Fiesta.
No, you don't understand. When Toph sees the car, it's got 4 wheels, a steering wheel, and seats. It's a nice car.
Fair. Who's driving?
I mean, I think I know where the hospital is. I guess I can drive.
Yeah. You'll be able to get there. So the journey doesn't take long. You seem to be blessed that the traffic lights seem to remain green for you. But you're almost cursing your luck, perhaps. There's a multi-story car park that's opposite the hospital, UCL. And as you're driving by, you can see vividly in the night sky the illuminated face of Big Ben, that name daubed across it. Outside of the front of the hospital, you are instantly aware that there is a moderate police presence at the front of the hospital.
Toph, who's been sitting in the passenger seat on the ride over, would say, just pull it around out back. I think there's a parking garage block over. Park it there and walk the rest of the way.
Yeah, Tess complies.
Yep. You're able to park up. And is there anything you wish to discuss before you go into the hospital, or at least attempt to?
I'm going to activate my Mask of 1,000 Faces. I got 2 successes, which will allow me to look like an ugly human.
Give me a... Let's see, I need to look this up. For those of you wondering, still checking the character sheet to see what you can do, give me a intelligence and... No, wits and... subterfuge.
Just Donica?
For Donica, yeah.
Four.
You look really ugly, but you also look quite unwell.
Perfect.
So I guess as Tess, you were driving, right? So as you parked the car, Toph would turn in the seat, and so he could see the 3 of you, and he'd say, "So what have you guys decided? How do you want to play this?"
I mean, we don't have to kill him, right? Just discrediting him should be enough. Right?
Toph just is shaking his head no. He doesn't say nothing, but he's just shaking his head no. He looks over to Donica and to Siegfried.
The command we were given was to silence him.
So how are you guys planning to do it?
Look, we've only been this way for like 24 hours tops. It's a little bit new to us. I haven't thought that far yet.
I had a little. Donica, I mean, did you find any proof when you were sifting through his emails and stuff? I mean, theoretically, if he's a reporter or a journalist, he's not going to go anywhere without proof. I just wondered if maybe he had it on his person instead, if you couldn't find it on the computer.
It's a good question, Rob. Do you think I would have seen something like that?
Proof as to what kind of story he has, you mean?
Yeah, like if he had like articles written in his Google Drive or anything like that, or if he had like photographic evidence or something like that.
Yeah, you actually noticed that a lot of the stuff that would have been on his personal hard drives and Google, whatever, lots of articles about ostracizing different subcultures and cultures and people of certain ethnic backgrounds as well. This guy is a piece of work, but he gets away with it. And however, there doesn't appear to be anything that's like hard proof vampires exist, for example. It doesn't ever really seem to be that specific in regards to that subject anyway. But you're a tech savvy person, you know there are offline things that people can use to keep things extra safe, Ethernet, that kind of thing.
Sure. Yeah, so I'd let them know I didn't see anything specific.
So Toph starts like drumming the dashboard with his fingers, and he says, "Do you know what happens to you guys? You know what happens to all three of you? You don't get this right. Did you see the message they gave you? That's going to be you."
We've seen illustrations. He says things back to that man in front of their very eyes back at the warehouse the other night. Trust me.
Well, you guys got to get this shit straight, because now I'm tied to you. And I ain't going out like that. So we're going to silence this guy. I'm going to do it right. Not because of the Camarilla asked us to do it. Fuck them. We're going to do it because, well, fuck it. Just because.
Yeah, it's my understanding that we just have to make sure he doesn't publish this article, and I think that we can do that without murdering him.
I don't want to kill anyone. I'm not even sure I want to live like this. I mean, clearly you have no love for the Camarilla, so why the fuck would I care if he lets loose some big secret? If we've all lost everything we cared about. Why does it matter?
He kind of runs his fingers through his hair. Okay, listen. All right. You know, I'm an asshole. I know that. But listen, I know you guys are going through some shit. I get it. I get it. But they don't care about you. You're nothing to them. But, and he's thinking, because he's not trying, you can see he's trying honestly to not be an asshole right now. And it's hard for Toph. And he's like, but you got to do it. You know, your life is over. You have to embrace your new life now. Best advice I can give you, let it go. Let it go. If you try to hold on to that part of your life, you're going to destroy it.
Just a couple ago, you were telling us to hold on to our humanity. Now you're telling us to let go.
Not the same thing, Sigmund. It's not the same fucking thing. You hold on to humanity, you got to let go of who you were. And he knows that he interrupted you, but he doesn't care.
It's Siegfried. It's not that hard.
Oh, sorry, Siegfried.
Look, there's a government that doesn't care about us already. What's the difference if there's another one now? It's the fucking big deal. It's the same shit. Except these ones, you know, live at night and can drink your blood.
And I'm not positive the other one can't do that either yet, to be fair.
There's the click as Siegfried as Toph reaches over, opens the door to the car. There's a squeak of the door as he steps out into the parking garage. Kind of leans down. He goes, "Let's go."
Yeah, well, are you going to go? And if you are, then how do you plan to approach?
Tess is sitting there, hands on the steering wheel, and just looking down, not moving. She doesn't want to go, but she doesn't know if she can stay.
Siegfried, what are you doing? What are you thinking?
As Siegfried's like, his eyes are going back and forth to like opening the door, getting ready to like walk, and like Tess just there. He just doesn't quite know what to do. Ugh. Whatever, we'll figure it out on the way. And the back door.
Danica?
He's resigned to doing whatever we need to do. He would prefer not to kill, if that's possible, but he's following.
Doesn't take you long to get to the there's sort of like an open plaza that surrounds the majority of the hospital. And you can see that there are two public entrances, shall we say. There is a revolving door, the base of the tower block that the hospital is. And there's also, to the far side, an ambulance bay. People being wheeled into A&E. So main reception, A&E, or look for something else. You also notice that there is that police presence, in particular 2 armed officers at the front door.
Danica would suggest quietly that they go through the main reception as opposed to A&E, as there might be a lot of blood in A&E, and that might be dangerous for them.
That's a good point. Plus, I mean, we're just walking into a hospital. I mean, it's not like there's any reason to suspect that we're doing anything else. For all they know, we're just walking in to visit a friend. I don't see any reason to hide.
Yeah. Well, if that's the way you want to go. Good thinking, by the way. And yeah, you go in. You notice as you're walking. Oh,
Rob,
go ahead.
really quickly. So one of the things that I think Toph would do as we're walking over to the hospital, he would walk up alongside Danica, throw his arm around him, and he'd be like, "All right, listen, beautiful. So you're really good with these computers and whatnot. So they got cameras in here. What do you think you can do with those?"
I'm a computer programmer, not a wizard. I would need to find somewhere where there's a control panel, like a computer, a security room. If I got there and then there was no one in there, then I could maybe do something with them.
Right. Good. All right. And you would see that Toph is kind of thinking that through.
And he would shrug off your arm.
There's that clinical greenish cream light as you enter a hospital. Sort of faux chipped marble flooring. And there's a hum as this hospital is pretty full and understaffed. There is a queue of about 4 people at the reception. Nurses bustle by, people in wheelchairs. Someone goes by on a pair of crutches with an IV bag. You remember there are 15 floors to the main tower block of the hospital. You've been told that this Mr. Smythe is on the 15th. You need to investigate further to see what else there is that you can use to your advantage. Like the security room, obviously you'll have to find where that is. What is your plan?
Has kind of caught up to the group now, and she nudges Siegfried in one shoulder. She goes, "Go up and ask for. Tell him you're looking for a nurse. Your girlfriend's here. Just pick a name. There's bound to be a nurse by the common name here. Lucy or Alice or Katie or something. Like, just see if you can get in and get pointed towards a floor, and we can go from there." Or you could say you're here for one of the security guards. I mean, you know.
Siegfried would just like roll his eyes at that. Well, do I have to like wait in line? Something? I've never really been to one of these places before. He kind of like sheepishly says.
What? Seriously. Donica, you've been to a hospital, right?
Yes.
She just like gives Siegfried a quizzical look.
Now's not the time to make me feel like the weird one, okay? Already dealing with a little bit of that.
Are you? Must be
He
hard.
just like stands there for a moment, just like realizing that he's like completely accidentally stepped over the line. Just like what little bit of red there is left in him goes up to his face.
Here's the plan. I'm going to... No. Tess, you're going to say that you think something has been stolen from you, and then they will take us to a security room so we can look at the footage, hopefully. That's what we're going to angle for. When we're in there, we can make sure to turn off the cameras on the 15th floor, and then we can go up there. You can look helpless.
She gives you kind of a dirty look at that. But she'll nod and she'll read one of the signs and see that labor and delivery is on the 5th floor. Okay. What was stolen? And she's like holding a purse and a phone. Like, what was stolen?
Watch. He kind of like holds up his arm.
Yeah, okay. And she's like twisting her ring nervously. Okay. I can do this.
Tess, you suddenly remember something very important.
Oh no.
Breakfast is the most important meal of the day. All of you, by the way, I forgot to mention, you drop a blood point because it's a new night.
Oh no.
But Lionel,
Oh,
I will
no.
say that you don't for the moment.
So that actually brings up a good point. So one of the assessment things that Toph would have been doing is looking at like how do they look? Do they look like they got enough on them that we don't have to worry about them?
They're currently at the state of, I mean, obviously their blood points will speak for themselves, but they kind of look like they've got out of bed without having coffee or anything.
Oh God, no.
I know.
So he would just kind of whisper to them as they're all kind of like coming up with this plan. He's kind of nodding as you guys are coming up with this plan. You know, it's pretty good. And he goes, "How y'all feeling? Doesn't look so good. I mean, he never looks good, but I mean, you guys don't look good. Maybe we're out in a hospital. Maybe we could. Is it hematology? Maybe we could hit the hematology floor and get you guys some blood. I mean, I need you guys on your game."
Can we do that?
Yeah. It's fucking blood.
That seems grosser to me than drinking it from a person.
That's messed up, man.
I think I'm with him. I think I want to know where my meal came from.
Not to mention, if we're going to do that, we'll still need to take the cameras out, which means that our first goal stays the same.
You know, it might be worth making a contact here. Paying someone to consistently provide us with a bag now and then.
Donica, you just said something that seems like it was like an epiphany to Toph. He's like, shit, that's a really good idea.
I mean, I'm sure that they don't pay these people enough money, and I'm sure that with some of your charm, maybe not mine, we could convince somebody to look the other way every now and then for a little bit of cash.
Actually, Toph, your mind, now that you're speaking about it a bit more, You've heard rumors of kindred, shall we say, motivating hospital staff, but by other means.
Yeah, he's not going to say anything yet about that. He's just going to kind of nod his head. Guess we'll cross that bridge when it's time. Eye on the prize, right, guys? And he would give them just like a really easy smile.
Okay. I am the prize. Watch was stolen. Security footage. Okay. Okay. And she like takes another deep breath and tries to ignore that gnawing, hungry feeling that is in the pit of her stomach and rising up through her chest. And she puts on her best worried face and like kind of just goes up to the front, ignoring the line, and oh, excuse me, I'm so sorry. And she like apologizes to the next person. I think I've had my watch stolen. I was up on the fourth floor, and my sister was having a baby, and I had to set it down because I'd spilled water everywhere, and I didn't want to get it all wet. And then I came back, and it was gone. And if we could just, I don't know if I could talk to someone, or if there's any security footage, and I could maybe see. Please, please, it was a gift.
The woman looks at you with eyes that could. She does not care in the slightest, just looking at you just like this. But regardless, turns to her monitor and says, your sister's name?
Alice?
Surname?
I'm not sure if it's under her maiden or her married name.
I'll check.
It's it's one of those situations.
Well, let's try her married name first, then, shall we?
Smith?
No, there's no Alice Smith booked in today, I'm afraid.
Oh, there is. I'll walk over and I'll put like my hand on the smaller Tessa's back. Look, listen, love. I'll take care of it. Look, there is. I think I'm sure you'll find it. And I'll like look at the woman and like.
Are you all right, love?
Implore her to find that name.
You look very peaky.
I'm fine. Alice Smith.
And what exactly are you doing? Dominate.
Dominate.
Okay.
I'm gonna try anyway.
Yeah, go ahead.
Let me just check what I need. Manipulation, intimidation. Okay, 1 second.
That's the one, yeah. Yeah.
Rob, while they're doing that, one of the things Toph would be doing is he'd be looking for like a security guard guy, kind of like.
Yeah, you notice that there are two flanking sort of a little bit further down the corridor. Like no one goes past this line kind of deal without staff.
Okay. So he would kind of just stroll up to these two guys while Tessa and Donica are doing that.
And as you stroll up, Donica, what did you get?
I got 2.
So her eyes flicker as if you were feeling a bit rusty on it, perhaps. But then you succeed. What do you want to tell us to do?
Basically, the command is like accept, which is like accept what we say. And I'll say, Alice Smith. You'll see it there.
Oh, yes, that's the 4th floor. Here, you must have forgotten these. And she hands some bracelets across that you fix on here to show that you're visitors.
Yeah, and we'll need 2 more.
Certainly. And as she slides 2 more over, you see visitors' hours are not currently at this time. It would have been about 2 hours ago. So you have kind of a thing, but you'll have to be careful.
Sure. Come on, darling, I'll say, and then I'll like move away from the counter.
And as you move away from the counter, oh, go ahead.
Tess like grabs your arm and just goes, "Thank you."
He would just like nod.
Tough, you've wandered up to one of the security guards and he's just watching you approach, sort of like looking you up and down.
Yeah, Toph definitely looks like a punk. Probably in his early 20s. And he would kind of give him a nod, and he'd he'd peek past him, past the door, and he'd kind of like go to take a step, like he's gonna walk past. I imagine.
Can I help you, son?
Yeah. Just here to see a friend of mine got hit by a car. Sent me a text message. His girlfriend sent me a text message, and I don't know. She didn't know which floor he was on, so I'm just trying to, see him.
You're going to want to go around to the A&E office, I'm afraid, mate.
Oh, really, man? You can't just let me go by.
Be quicker that way.
He goes, "Oh, I'm Toph, by the way. Toph." And he says it again, kind of like he did with the others earlier. He says it like you should know who that is.
He looks over at his colleague and then back at you, and you notice his hand goes onto a button on his belt, and he goes, "All right.
Hey, no problems here, man. I just, And it's probably about that time that maybe the others would come up with the bracelets and see him kind of failing miserably at trying to get past this door.
Yeah. So you approach. And he looks and he sees that you have a maternity thing on, showing that you're here for a birth of a child. So there's a reason you'd be here out of hours. But he nods. There's a corridor in front of you. Beds sort of left in the corridors and wheels. There's a large, almost industrial-sized elevator, a lift. It's a rabbit warren of corridors with different coloured lines going off in different areas, colour-coded.
Toph has no idea where he's going. He hasn't been in a hospital for a really long time. Actually, he probably can't even remember the last time he was in a hospital. He would look at the others and say, "All right, I'm going to be honest here. I have no idea where I'm going. I haven't been in a hospital in a long time."
No, but you can read, Toph. You can read, surely.
Yep.
Yep. So you see these lines and you see all those signs up on the wall that tell you what each line means. What you can do is you can use those two pieces of information, put them together to try and figure out where you are. He's explaining it to him as if he's like an idiot child.
Yeah, Toph understands. He gets it, but he just goes along with it. Natural leader, that's what you are, son. Yeah, man.
Tessa clears her throat and she goes, "Or we could just, take the stairs." She nods her head.
It's 15 flights of stairs. Seems like a lot.
Suck it up. You're immortal.
Yes.
We need to find this security room. Well, certainly if we're going to be up to no good on the 15th floor, we're going to need to find it.
Yeah, and as you go into the stairwell, I'm assuming you're following Tess's plan. You're immortal. And you see that there is a sign that tells you what is on each floor. And you see that administration and security is on floor 3.
Hess will head up the stairs. Confidently is the wrong word. She checks over to make her shoulder to make sure everyone's following. Toph makes her uneasy. He seems very unpredictable. But she's glad to have Siegfried and Donica.
Yeah, you make it up the stairs fairly quickly. And it's the 3rd floor. The lights are low. You can see through a set of double doors with glass panels that there is another sort of reception area. Someone there to take queries. But again, it doesn't look like this part of the hospital is open to the public. You don't see anyone else in there.
Siegfried, I think we're going to need you here. Go and wow that person. Ask them where the cameras are. We need to, I don't know how to phrase that, but you know what I mean? We need to find where the camera room is and the security sort of computer room. We need to find that.
Yeah, I'll just ask them where all their cameras are. That'll go well in a hospital. I'll figure something out. And then he'll like open the door and kind of like look around and like as if like he was like expecting to see somebody that he's like looking for in this room.
Yeah, and there is a young male admin assistant sort of just tapping a ballpoint pen against a monitor. He's got a stress ball, a yellow smiley face stress ball in his other hand. And he sort of looks up and he goes, "Oh, we're not open to the public here. I think there might have been a mistake."
This is security, right?
No, security's at the back over there. What?
Oh, well, you see, when steal something from us. We were told to come back here to have a look at the cameras. It was a watch.
Do you know how long I've been on shift?
How would I know that?
I'll tell you.
Please do.
Too fucking long. And he gets up. Come with me. And the rest of you looking through those glass panels, you see that they're walking off down into it's sort of like an open plan sort of office area that you're in. It seems to be the entire width of the tower. And they appear to be walking to a back room that's sort of surrounded by glass walls, but blinds are down over it.
Yeah, I think once they turn and they start walking off, Toph would pass through the door and just try to shadow them a little bit behind. I mean, I don't. How big is this open office?
It's really big, really big,
Yeah,
really open and
right.
wide. Yeah,
Like 20, 30 feet behind. He'll just kind of shadow behind him, and he'd look at the other two to kind of and give him one of these little head twitches that says "Follow me."
You said the lights were low, Rob. How low? Like dark enough to like be considered dark, or like is it?
Yeah, like you know when only a few of them are on, like when it's
Yeah.
not open hours, like in an office or in a school or something. It's sort of dim
Yeah.
and like that. So
Like
that's
just the
plenty of
emergency
darkness.
light row, I'd imagine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then I would, and this happens anyway. No, lights seem to flicker around Donica, but Donica would like make a point of like keeping to the darker areas, and he would just be gone.
Okay. so we know what your stealth rolls are like for this coming up bit, if you could all make a, let me see what it is. I just need to double check each time, just so I'm getting it right. It is subterfuge. Oh no, it's stealth, isn't it? Skills, stealth, and dexterity.
So Tess would like to, instead of trying to hide, she'd look at these two like trying to slink along in the shadows, and she'll almost like jog a few steps ahead and come up and put her hand on Siegfried's shoulder and goes, "Oh, hey, there you are. Are you getting to the security office?"
Oh. I
Did you
told you
find
could have
it?
just waited down. I told you just to wait down. Yeah, it's okay. Look, this is her. She's the one whose watch was taken. So she's a little concerned that he's saying this to like the security guard. That it was a little expensive, so I don't. It's important.
Yeah, and my brother here
Mind if
gave
he
it
just
to
comes
me.
along, it would really ease her mind if she could see the footage as well.
He doesn't answer. He doesn't really like a story. He just keeps walking, and then he knocks on the glass. Dun, dun, dun. The door opens, and there's a security officer. He's got a magazine in one hand, and he looks over his shoulder, and you can see there's 2 other security guards in there as well. You look at this scrawny 20-something admin assistant, and he just looks at you with just like a complete look of distaste, and he feels like his job has been done. He's taking you to security, and he now walks around, sort of running a hand through his dark, greasy hair. And the security guard goes, "Lost something then, yeah?"
Yes. Her watch. I'm so sorry to bother you.
Come in.
I'll slink in as well.
Yeah, it's almost like you feel the room sort of go for a second as Donica goes in.
It's definitely the case.
Tough what
Like just at the moment that he walks in, all the computers that have been like not touched for a while, they like go to sleep. Like they do periodically.
And the guard goes, "Oh, for fuck's sake," and he like clicks and like trying to get it to come back on. Toff, are you staying outside of the room before they close the door?
Yeah. He's just gonna lean up against the wall, kind of listening at the door.
Okay. So the 3 of you are in there, and Toff, you keep an eye on the admin assistant who's making his way back to his desk at the far end of the office. And the security guard is just like, "So where were you when you first realised that, sorry, what was missing?"
A watch.
It's my watch.
"All right, let's have a look then." And he sort of sits down and he says, "Got anything you lost and found?" Guard just shakes his head and like continues watching TV.
You said
Yeah,
there was
no.
sorry.
Yeah, she's like, yeah, no, it's in the maternity ward. And she's gonna like move over and stand closer to the one that's working the computer.
Yeah, and he's sort of like just skipping through sort of like what appears to be on a security software on his ancient Dell tower computer. And yeah, there are
And
3 in there, Lloyd.
Siegfried is gonna like walk up to to the man like watching TV, just kind of zoned out, just kind of like pretending to watch while Tess helps, but he's standing like pretty close behind him. And he's just gonna like kind of glance back over towards Tess mostly, but also towards Donica. Just kind of like shrug.
I guess you would see Donica like go to the other man and like stand behind him. He would have no idea that he's there, and he would just like look at them and then like open his mouth and his fangs like, and he would like raise an eyebrow.
And Tess goes,
Yeah.
yeah, it's right about there. And she does the same to the guy on the computer.
Okay, brawl and whatever it was that we did last time. Brawl and gotta keep bringing this sheet back up. And Dex, yeah,
Dex.
please. And I will make an opposed roll for them. Okay. I quite like the auto oppose system that V5 does. It's so much quicker. Okay. 5 successes for Donica, 3 Siegfried. Just Donica and Siegfried, you seem to easily just get the drop on them. It's almost instinctive, like you're part of a pack. For a second, Donica, you see wolves running on the moors, and you sink your teeth in. Tess, the guard looks around as you're going for the lunge, but he doesn't quite know what you're doing. And in his confusion, you just succeed in seizing him and getting the bite on him. Toff, you just see the silhouettes of the 3 of these new kindred feasting.
Yeah. Well, one, Toff has a ultimate approval. He'll slip through the door into the room now.
And you see this macabre sight, but it's something that you're very used to.
So Donegal will drink a little longer than is necessary. He's like hungry and he's angry, and he'll go a little bit further than he did last time.
Okay. Let me see. I'm just checking something.
There's like something about it that's like primal in his new blood that like makes him enjoy this like hunt thing. Like in life, he was like a pacifist, just very calm sort of person, but now he like really enjoys this like thrill of the hunt and the destruction of the prey.
Give me a self-control roll, please.
Oh boy.
And the virtues. That's in advantages.
1.
1 success.
Yeah.
Yeah, you definitely drink deep. And it isn't enough to kill. Because you're aware of this, but you did it anyway.
Maybe if Toff sees that, he sees that he's just too long. He's thinking too long, and he goes over and just grabs him roughly by the shoulder and pulls him. And
it's like being pulled away from the finest meal of your life, Donica.
Yeah, like the fangs would come out and he would like step back and the guy would like slump to the floor. And he would like turn for a moment, like bestial eyes.
not too much, man. Not too much. And it's kind of like this forced whisper. But as he turns and you give that, he doesn't withdraw from that like most might. But he actually just grabs you firmly on both of your shoulders. And then when he sees that maybe you get a little bit of your rational mind back, he lets you go. He says, well done, but you got to make sure never draw too much. Especially not now.
He's just like, as if he's just taking a huge line of coke. Just feels great. And he's like moving kind of shoulders up and down and like almost bouncing.
And as you give that roar, the door of the security office opens and the admin assistant comes in and goes, Terry, I'm going down to the machine. Do you want any? And that's where we're going to take a short break.
Yo, that's awesome. That poor scrawny bastard.
Poor Terry.
So, hello for those of you watching. My name is Robo. Going to performance check. By all means, introduce yourselves really quick. We'll take a quick break and then we'll get back in. We'll start with Taylor.
I'm Taylor. I am playing Tess, who is not so sure about this vampire thing. It's a lot of fun so far. Really enjoying it.
Excellent. Jeff.
Yeah, I'm Jeff from Counterbalance. Yeah, this is awesome. I think Siegfried is probably the most apprehensive about the actual feeding part so far. So it'll be interesting to see where that goes. But yeah, so far this has been great.
Lloyd.
Lloyd, if you watch this channel, then you know that. And I am playing Donica, who is increasingly enthusiastic about the prospect of feeding on humans.
And last, and of course not least, welcoming to the Vampire Crew, Lionel.
Yeah, hey, I'm Lionel. I'm half of the channel, Two Guys T and D&D, and I'm playing Toph, who is really having a hard time figuring out why nobody knows him.
Your entrance, dude, I absolutely loved just barging away in and going straight to the fridge. Like, it was just spot on. And some of the lines you would come out with, man, it was brilliant.
It was almost like Jeff and I talked about how we were going to play it out, but it just worked great. I mean,
Just so good.
It was awesome. It was awesome.
Just really good. And really awkward as well. I liked that there was awkwardness. So 5-minute break, guys, and then we'll be back in. For those of you watching, thanks. Be back soon. What's going on, guys? Thank you ever so much for watching. Busy time on performance check lately. Hey, man. There's some gold in this so far. It's a lot funnier than I thought this game would be, but because it's fun walking around the real world with superpowers. And just being weird as well. Just weirdos. Which I quite like.
Yeah, I mean, it's like we're people, but like we also are like not really people anymore, but we don't really know what it means yet. So there's all these like awkward situations where it's like, am I supposed to act like a normal person here, or am I supposed to act like a vampire here? And like I don't really know what acting like a vampire even means if I want to pick that. Like there's a bunch that kind of has to be worked out, which can lead to some interesting and funny situations.
Definitely. Are we all back? I can't see Lloyd because he's in the corner of his thing.
Yeah, I'm back.
I thought I saw your shoulder. Excellent. So the door has opened, and the admin assistant is looking horrified, looking directly at you. Well, all of you, looking at the slumped over security guards, and he goes,
Yeah, and Toph would try to react as quickly as possible. He'd look to use his discipline and celerity to move like with unnatural speed and just grab this guy and yank him into the room.
Yeah, absolutely. Why don't you use because do you actually have to roll for celerity? I'm not sure. I suppose
It's always on.
to see how is what, sorry.
It's like
It's always
potence.
on.
It's always on.
Okay, cool. In that case, just give me a brawl and dexterity then, please. Or is it strength if it's grappling? Might be strength, mightn't it? Whichever you prefer, Lionel, in this case, strength or dex. I'll work it out later.
Actually, I could give you 2 rolls if you'd like. The dex to get there quickly and the strength to like yank him into the room.
I won't test you to getting there. He's like a couple of feet from you, so it's fine.
Yeah, I got 4 successes.
Yeah, just tell me what happens, man. Like, there's in fact, let me just roll just in case. But
Okay.
no, tell me what happens.
Yeah. So what the others would see with like this almost unnatural speed, Toph is like he's standing next to them, and then the next second he's closed that distance, and he has the security guard, one hand muffled up over his face, and the other just kind of grabbed like the back belt of his trousers and lifted him right up. And he uses his shoulder and closes the door as he turns the guy into the room.
And he's like, like freaking out, man.
Yeah. And Toph is just going, fuck.
I'm going to punch that man in the side of the head and try and knock him out.
Okay.
So what's that, strength and brawl?
Dex and brawl if you're punching. I think it's strength and brawl if you're grabbing someone. I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
The strength is for the actual damage. The dex.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's
no,
it.
right.
Yeah, it's melee
sorry.
if
Yeah.
you're going to punch somebody.
That's it.
It's not brawl?
Oh, no, actually, you're using your bare
It's
hand.
brawl.
Yeah, it would be brawl.
Melee is an actual weapon.
Yeah, I feel like you're using a weapon on the pad.
Oh my goodness. Holy shit. 6 out of 6. Holy shit. Oh no, I'm going to kill him.
That was just the to hit, right? That wasn't the damage?
Yeah, that was the hit.
You definitely hit him. So I will make you roll your damage and your composure, and we'll go from there, shall we?
Okay. Oh my god. Okay, so so the damage. You're gonna have to help me out here, Jeff, because I'm not too sure how I calculate this.
It would be assuming we're still just using the regular V20 stuff that we've been using.
Yeah. For now.
So it would be your strength score plus however many successes over the defense that your attack was, which would be 5.
Oh my god. Oh my god. That's a lot of dice. And I get one for potence as well.
Yeah, plus your so 5 plus strength plus your potence. And however many successes you roll, that's how much damage you take.
So many dice. Oh my goodness. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Okay. Well, he doesn't resist any of that.
Oh god.
So give me a composure roll.
Composure, sure. Where's that? Is that
sorry, not composure.
self-control?
What is it? Self-control. Sorry, yeah.
Okay. Nope. Fuck.
Now you
So-
roll low.
I know.
So you don't kill him. Your intention wasn't to kill him. You're not an animal. You just had a bit of a tick when you were drinking blood. You don't kill him. You do, however, hit him like an articulated truck. And Toff, you're holding this guy still up in the air, and Donica comes flying out of the corner of your periphery and just belts this guy right in the side of the head, and his head then goes crack against the glass that you're holding up against. And he sort of convulses and just goes dead weight in your arms.
Siegfried like gasps and like puts his hands up to like his face, like he's just like, and takes a couple steps back. He's just like, "What the hell?"
Oh fuck! Oh fuck! Oh god! Oh god!
Tess is doing the same thing. It's this roller coaster from the euphoria of feeding, and now all of a sudden, just panic. Like, what did you do? Why did you yell? What did you do? What did you do? Oh god, what are we gonna do?
I wanted to knock him out. Oh god! Oh god! Is he alive?
Toph is just going to kneel down next to this guy as he kind of lays him against the wall, and he's just going to try to feel for. Well, you could probably hear a pulse, right? You would hear the.
Yeah, you can hear the pulse, and
He looks up, and he looks pissed when he looks at Donica, and he goes, "Fuck, man, I didn't need your help. No, just go do what you're supposed to do. I gotta figure this out."
Okay. All right. And he would like get up and like sit in the chair and just begin like.
Yeah. So if you want to make the relevant computer checks, Lloyd, and let me know what those are in a moment, whilst we go back to the rest of you guys dealing with this incident. So Toff, what's going on with you? You've laid him down. You can hear he's got a faint pulse.
Yep. All he heard was the crack of this guy's skull as Donica just put probably everything he had, not knowing how his immortal strength. But this guy's seen them. He's seen them. Shit. And that's what he keeps saying. He's like, shit. Fuck it.
Siegfried's like pacing around the room, like at a near like maniacal pace, just like, what do we do? He saw us, and then now he's hurt. What? I don't know what to do. What do we do? And he like,
shut the fuck up. I gotta think. God damn it.
You're supposed to know what we're supposed to do. You're supposed to be the one who's helping us. What do we do?
And he just stands up and he goes, "Yeah, you're right. I didn't know your fucking friend here was gonna fucking lose his shit. Everything would have been fine. I would have made the guy forget this whole thing. How the fuck are we gonna explain this? He fucking cracked his skull. Look." And he just looked down and there's just like blood just oozing out of his ear. And it's just like at this unnatural angle.
At the sight of blood, like simultaneously, like Siegfried's heart like starts jumping, like partly from being queasy and partly from like now the sight of blood, which for him is now food. Just like there's like this half like mix of emotions that just like rushes through him. He just like looks down at this person on the ground now.
Okay, I was just reading what Lloyd was putting into the chat there, but I'll just read it through just in case. So your successes were 6 then, Lloyd. And you'll
So I made lots of different checks for each different thing.
So you're going to loop the footage on this floor. Yeah,
So
you're absolutely able to do that. Yeah.
from the time that we come in, basically, so it looks as if the guy has never left the security desk.
In fact, you didn't get below a 4, did you?
No, I'm
So you go
pretty
for
good
it.
at
Just
this.
explain everything you're doing.
Sure. So the first thing that he would do is like to loop the footage on this floor so that there's no evidence of us coming into the floor at all, and it's just like this continuous loop of like the guy sitting at the desk. Yeah, and I spec'd very specifically for this one thing. I'm very good at it. Then 5 successes to loop the footage in the stairwell, so there's no evidence of us going up that stairwell. 6 to loop the footage on the 15th floor so that it looks like we won't be there. 4 to search for the current footage on the 15th floor to like see who's in Smythe's room and on the corridors and stuff up there, if there's armed guards or anything like that. And then the last one was 4 to unlock all the doors on the 15th floor.
Yeah, so you have successfully been able to ghost yourselves out of the footage of all of the areas that you just designated there. And you then look at the current footage of the 15th floor. You see that there are 2 armed policemen standing before one of the doors at the far end of a corridor where the camera is. You also flip through and you're able to access another camera, which is just outside the room. It doesn't look like there's a camera inside the ward itself. But you can get a glimpse of inside as well.
So safe in the knowledge then that even if we go up there, it's not going to show that. It's going to show the same sort of corridor with guards standing and stuff like that, the way it would usually look. He would like finally like, and then like take his sleeve and like wipe any fingerprints off the keyboard, and then stand and say, right, it's done, let's go.
Okay, first, we can't just leave this like this. And he's gonna like pick up the one of the other like sleeping security guards, and like drag his body over towards this like knocked out admin, and like put his hand in the blood that's like now dripping on the floor,
Oh God.
and then like sit him in the chair over the computer, and look over towards Donica and say, if just maybe leave it logged in under his ID. They'll think he was the one who changed this all. Maybe he got mad at the admin. He knocked him out. No one will ever know.
Yep. And then Donica would like pierce his thumb and like run some blood over the various wounds that we've given these people. And he would look at Toff and say, this man, he might have like a brain hemorrhage. If we feed him blood, will he be better?
Terrible idea.
We can't let him die.
Listen, one thing you don't want to do, don't ever make an unsanctioned vampire.
Well, would that make him a vampire? Fuck.
If you give him your blood,
So that would require draining the
draining
admin
him, that's
first,
right.
yeah, then
Right.
making him feed. If you
Right,
just
let me-
make them feed, something else happens.
Right.
You'll be familiar with this, Toff, in
Yeah.
fairness. In doing this,
Toff is like, we got other things to do.
Okay,
You
wait,
should
wait,
have thought
wait.
of that. You should have thought of that before you
have-
hit him.
I have an idea. Okay, look, we were going up the stairwell. We heard yelling. We don't know what happened, but I'm gonna tell the front desk that we heard yelling while we were going up, and that they should check it out. We're in a hospital. He'll be okay.
It's better that we don't make our faces known.
How long are those other 3 gonna be out, anyways?
Judging from the last time, well, you didn't really stick around to find out, really, did you? So you don't really know.
Well, what would Toph know about how long?
Yeah, you would, in fairness. So a normal embrace, an hour or two, and you will sort of kind of start snapping out of it. But
All right,
for the one that Donica drained heavily, that's going to take a while.
Yeah. But these guys, they like to drag their feet. They like to overthink things. So Toph just says, we got about 30 minutes to get done what we got to get done and get out of here. Tell you what.
Okay.
He won't die in 30 minutes, right? The other guys will wake up. They'll see he's down. They'll call for help.
Right. But this is what we can do too if it'll make you feel better. When we get out of here, we'll go into a call box and call.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Okay. I've rigged the cameras. We can go to the 15th and not get seen.
All right, yeah, let's go.
So just so I'm 100% clear, you're leaving the room, sort of half staging the security guards went nuts and started fighting each other. And you're not going to like clean them up or anything. Just so I'm clear.
Tess is like, go ahead.
I've put like blood on the bite wounds
Spit.
to close those up. Spit.
Are you okay?
Whichever one heals the wound.
Yeah. Okay. Just checking. Just checking. Gotta be careful about these things.
So one of the things Toph would do as like we're getting ready to leave this security room is he would stop Danica and say, now you did what you have to do with those computers, right?
Yes.
It's like we were never here.
Exactly.
But they'll remember us.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. I got it covered. Get to the stairway.
How? What? How the hell could you possibly have it covered? I know you're confident. Oh, look, I can piss farther than you, but come on.
Listen, you're still a fledgling. When you've been around longer, you'll understand. Just trust me on this. I got this covered.
I don't trust you at all.
Well, you have to.
Look,
we have to trust each other.
Donica's rigged the video footage. They'll have no proof. There's nothing that they can show.
Right.
You got the lobby, right, Donica?
Nope. He goes back over to the computer. Rolls 10,000 dice. Just give me a sec.
Because I did talk to that nurse, and she might remember someone looking for a watch, and...
Okay, yeah, so then I got 5 successes to just try and like reloop the footage for the maybe 3 minutes that we were in the lobby.
The lobby was fairly crowded, though, true, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, good.
Yeah, you're able to clear your tracks from that. So, the 15th floor beckons, I suppose.
Yeah. So after they leave to head for the stairway, Toph kind of stays behind, and he kills every one of those guys. We can't have any loose ends. He just like snaps each of their necks. And then he kind of gets out to the stairway with them and he goes, all set. Let's go.
Okay. I'm gonna need you to I'm gonna need you to do something for me. Bear with me 1 second. Holy shit.
Oh my god.
Got rid of the character sheet. Shit.
Why not? I love how you're playing this character because that type is supposed to be super unpredictable, like a loose cannon, and it's fantastic, but oh my god.
I would like you to roll humanity for me, please, which.
Mhm. And is it a 6 I'm shooting for?
6 for you shooting for you.
4 successes.
You are fine with doing that. You're totally okay about doing that. It doesn't bother you.
Gotta hold on to that humanity.
It doesn't bother you in the slightest. Holy fuck.
I was planning that the whole time that you guys were doing the whole thing with the blood and everything. But yeah, so when he gets out to the stairway, he's like, all right, let's go. Clock's ticking.
Yeah.
Okay. 15th floor. You taking the stairs or the elevator?
Stairs.
I'm sorry. So you go up the stairs, and it takes a little while. It's a tall building, but eventually you get to the 15th floor, and you see that there is a black box by the side of the door. Looks like something that you need to swipe a card across. And you can see movement through a sort of glass window in the door. It's like a heavy security door.
So I had made a check to like open the doors on the 15th floor. Is this one not open?
Yes, you did. You bloody did, didn't you? So actually, you just open it. Yeah, open's fine. Not magnetically sealed.
Great. Here we go.
Yeah, so no, well done. I forgot you said that. So, corridor, you see that there are 2 security guards at the security armored police at the end of the corridor. Both of them holding automatic weapons. You also see a number of staff, only 1 or 2, moving around. You can see that this whole floor is kind of like got windowed sort of segments with different wards, but you see that the room that they're guarding is sort of like a separate private ward. And you can tell that you're probably not supposed to be up here. What do you do?
Tess straightens her shirt and kind of fixes her hair a little. She says, I'm a lawyer. What are you lot bringing to the table?
We're invisible.
Siegfried, do you want to be my
Yourself.
paralegal?
Yeah, I can probably pull that off.
Excellent. So Tess will just walk up like she knows what she's doing.
And who are you walking up to? The armed police?
No, she's just not even, she'll like kind of nod at them and then continue attempting to walk past like she belongs.
Okay, I'm going to ask you to do a roll with some presence, I believe, because you're literally just walking by using your own sass. So let's see. At least I believe it's called presence.
Well, presence is one of the powers.
Oh, it's a
I think
power,
we
isn't it?
both-
Yeah.
We both have that power, so we can use it if we need to. But there is also it's like charisma or
Yeah, give me
appearance.
charisma and performance, I guess, or I don't know,
Maybe,
make your case. Which one do
etiquette?
you want to? Etiquette, yes, that sounds good.
And subterfuge might also be something. It's concealing your motives.
Yes, yeah, definitely.
So what am I rolling?
So I guess subterfuge and charisma.
All right.
Oh Jesus.
I don't know if I'm making a ham of these rules, but it seems to be working.
That is going to be a nice 4 success for me for charisma.
Okay, and Taylor.
1.
So Siegfried, you sort of just stride up, and you're just like a boss. You're meant to be here, and they sort of just watch you. Like it's a supernatural level of kind of like commitment to this. But then you're walking through, and then as Tess is following, one grabs your arm, Tess, and says, "Where do you think you're going?" And sort of pushes you back, and sort of like doesn't point the
Siegfried
gun
is
at
going
you,
to
but it's ready.
Siegfried's going to turn around, and like his voice is like almost like he's not singing, but there's almost like a song like quality to it. And I'm actually just going to use presence. I'm going to use a blood point here to activate presence. As they just basically say, "It's okay. She's with me."
And they look
All
half
right, so I will need
convinced.
to make
But yeah, you need to make the roll.
yeah, with like a million dice. So, oh, good God. 7 successes.
So, I mean, you can tell me what you say if you like. If I'd like to know what you say.
Yeah, so he just like looks at these people dead in the eye, like he's just walked in like he's absolutely supposed to be there. And he just looks, and it's almost as if he's just talking to Tess and not to them. Like he's so confident that he is supposed to be here that he just doesn't acknowledge it. He's just like seeing like the kind of apprehension on her face, just like, "Hey, the room was this way." Just like ignoring, like clearly her apprehension is because she forgot where the room was and is lost. She's just like going along, just like sorry about her. She just got reassigned to this case. I'm helping her out. Just gonna go right over here.
And with glazy eyes, they kind of just do like a nod and sort of return to their posts on either side of the door. So you and Tess are free to walk
Shakes her
in.
arm loose and keeps going. Thank you.
Yeah, you are able to walk in. Donica and Toff, what are you doing? You sort of see this happen.
I'm going to try and sneak past in the commotion. I'm going to use a willpower point to buff up my dex so that I can make the stealth check better.
Yeah, man, go ahead.
So 4 successes.
How'd you get in there? Tell me.
So it's just that, I was going to say natural, but unnatural Nosferatu feature where people don't want to look at them. They'll do anything to like convince themselves that they're not seeing a monster. It can't be true that they would see a thing like that. So like people reflexively just like look in the wrong direction when he walks by, or they hear a noise somewhere and they're like, "Oh, what's that?" They don't, like, they can feel maybe him brush against them, but they think it's just like, you know, the breeze or something. All these like things that happen instinctively, like in their minds, even though none of it's real, they don't want to see him. And so he uses that to his advantage and just like slips between them.
Yeah, you do so. And finally, Toff, what are you doing?
Yeah, Toph would want to do the same thing to sneak past, but not quite in the same fashion. he actually just moves down the hallway as they're talking to these two armed policemen. And he's just staying to the towards the side of the hall, and he just kind of dips past them, and so he takes advantage of the fact that they're both kind of turned and talking to Tess and to Siegfried. But again, he would use that same sort of quickness. So it's almost like there's a shutter, like he's at the doorway to the stairwell, and there's like this shutter, and he's like right by the where they're all talking, and he kind of dips in behind and goes through the door that Siegfried was just about to go through.
Yeah, man, roll it up.
So that is Dex and subterfuge, right?
Or stealth, I believe.
Stealth.
For straight sneaking.
Oh yeah, 2, 3, 4 successes.
Yeah. So as they're sort of averting their eyes from Donica as well, you're just like, there's like the slightest gust of wind, but yeah. And then you were all within the private ward. You remember how busy it was downstairs and how desperate people were to fill hospital beds. There are about 20 beds in this place, and only one of them is being used. The lights are off, and all that can be the only thing illuminated, even though obviously you can see, I always forget that, is the light of some kind of oxygen machine on one of the beds at the far end of the room. It's quite a big ward. Large windows sort of on each side, sort of in the corner of this tower.
How far is it from the door to the bed?
A good way. Like it's a big ward. So 60 feet maybe more.
So we could potentially have like a hushed conversation down there and not have the guards here.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So Donica will like move his way through the dark ward, sticking to the shadows down towards where the bed is, trying to stay hidden. I think we lost Rob. Are you guys still there?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Yeah.
Okay, thank God. All right, so elevator music.
This is where shit's really gonna get real, though. It's
Oh,
all
I
been
know.
a cakewalk up to here.
Oh, yeah, the cakewalk where you commit triple homicide.
Hey, whoa!
It was quadruple homicide actually. So let's.
Oh, that's true. It's quadruple. That's right.
Yeah.
So you're the admin assistant, too.
I have a strange feeling it's going to be a quintuple by the end of the night.
You know. See, the thing, it's funny because, like, as a player, I have no problem, like, killing this man, right? Like, it's like easily the best option we have, or the safest option we have.
Mhm.
But, you know, like, Donica has a problem with murder.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
You mean the
Tess
same
does not
guy
want murder.
that crushed that guy's skull?
He didn't mean
That
to
one
do
was an
that.
accident.
Yeah.
I'm so surprised that you did not kill him with all those rolls.
Right?
Yeah. Like Nosferatu have like natural superhuman strength. They've got like potence, you know, which means that they get like real strong, real quick.
Blah.
All right, as Rob's coming back, I'm just gonna take a quick little step away.
Yeah, cool.
Lloyd, I've set aside the 3 dice that have rolled above a 6 tonight.
Yep, you got to put them in the bin.
Those are going to be the good dice, and
Oh,
the
okay.
others are in dice jail.
Yeah, we can look at the. I don't know, because Sonic is really good at the things that he does well. Like really, really good at them.
Yeah.
So Tess should be as well. So I think maybe it's just like an issue of having stuff in the wrong places.
Yeah, I think that's it. I'm just, being new to a system, you don't really know
Yeah.
where to put points and how to kind of optimize a character. I don't like min-maxing, but I feel like she's almost entirely ineffectual at this point.
That's what you have to do in this game, is you really have to play to the strengths of your clan. Otherwise, you're going to be burning a lot of points in skills that others can do better. Like, I knew Lloyd's guy was really good at computers, so I didn't spend anything on hacking into stuff or anything. My guy barely knows how to operate a cell phone.
I have nothing in anything charming or anything like that. Like all of them, because I'm hideous and my appearance is 0. So I had lots of spare points because I didn't have to put anything in charm or persuasion or anything like that.
Yeah, I guess I got to figure out what to...
Go ahead.
Go on.
I just more or less got lucky that I didn't even realize that the presence skill was charisma and performance before I took it, but those were already my character's highest physical stat and my character's highest skill. So it's just it happens to work out that one of my main abilities that I'll probably use a lot, I get 9 dice for, which is just absurd.
Yeah,
it's the only thing I can do. I'm terrible at everything else, but I have the one thing.
You can charm the pants off anybody or the blood out of anybody.
Yeah, basically.
One of the things that there's manipulation, charisma, and appearance, and so I only have 1 point in charisma, and that's what I start with, and I put all of my other points in manipulation. So I'm really good at that, but it's because I don't need the other 2 ever. That was kind of easier on my end because I knew that there was a whole slew of skills I would never use.
Yeah, if you guys need me to punch something, just let me know.
Yeah, I'm Ventru, which is the leadership one, and I guess I'm trying to figure out what pairs well with that and what that's gonna look like. It's a more nebulous niche to fit into.
Yeah, I would say charisma and appearance, and then a bunch of speech skills and stuff.
Yeah. So,
yeah, the only thing with that is that basically makes me there's nothing wrong with having people overlap, but that would basically be an exact overlap of what me and Taylor's characters would be good at, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with that, but it is just kind of something.
Yeah, maybe you could spec into being an excellent liar, and an excellent person for reading people as opposed to charming people.
Yeah, so I've got 3 in leadership and 3 in subterfuge.
Yeah.
But I just used subterfuge, of course, and rolled 4 dice and only succeeded on 1. So